What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Friday, February 18th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. I hope that you're doing great. End of the week, it's Friday. It is Pisces season today, so that's kind of the big news. That's the big news. Pisces season. Why is that big news? Well, anytime the sun ingresses, it's kind of a big deal in astrology, but 00, it's Pluto. It's a very powerful day. When it comes to Piscean energy, it definitely can bring up a lot of emotion. There's a sensitive side to Pisces, but there's also a very high spiritual side to Pisces. There's an extremely divine presence. It's extremely potent right now because Neptune and Jupiter, they're at home in Pisces. The two strongest planets in Pisces are with the sun for the next 30 days of this Pisces season, and we're never going to see that again in our life. This is a once-in-a-lifetime transit. So I think coming into today, into this Friday, and into this next 30 days, this should be a very high spiritual intent. This should be, unbound creative potential. There's no boundaries in Pisces either. So there's this huge amplification of the only thing that is going to hold you back in life is you. If you're going to play the martyr, if you're going to play the victim, because that can be Pisces too, where we self-undo and we go into the oh poor me stories in life, or we're too overly sensitive about what's going on in life. Today we don't want to identify with that. The sun is our identification. It's the soul, right? So we want to identify with the strongest spiritual intent to create magic in our life, to break and dissolve barriers and boundaries that are no longer necessary. This is because of programming that is coming undone. We're breaking out of the programming. If there was ever a 30 days in the astrology where we're breaking out of programs in life fully, 100%, it's right now. And you don't want to limit yourself. There's a lot of go, go, go energy. All planets direct. Venus and Mars are together at 18 degrees in Capricorn. Getting ready to sextile Neptune, so that's building up too. Not quite there yet, but there's this very potent, powerful energy here of creating a structure of life that is not bound to a program that is not serving your highest spiritual potential. And you have to, once again, look at what your life is and what is stopping you from going higher into the universe, trusting God, having a high level of faith. This brings up compassion. We got to compassionate with each other. We got to love each other. We got to love ourselves. Any victim stuff or putting the victim on someone else, or especially putting the victim on yourself, is not going to get you into creating the abundant life that you want, into the loving life, into the happy life, into the dream life. And that's kind of part of today with the sun coming into Pisces and the moon still here in Virgo. This is a taste. We're going to get another full moon in Virgo. Of course, this isn't an exact full moon, and we are going to see the moon ingress into Libra at 0 degrees and quincunx that sun. But this is like a little taste as we come forward for another 28 days and get a full moon here. So this is where really it is mutable times. There are changes that have to be made in our reality. There are changes that might have to be made spiritually. But we have to, be a little focused, a little critical, so we can unleash this great power. This is not a time to deny sort of God's will for you right now. This is where God's throwing crazy radical things in your life for a reason, whether it's people. Jupiter is going to make the exact sextile. That was yesterday into today. Is the strongest we get, this Jupiter and Uranus sextile. So when it comes to the best things in life, the value of people, the value of your connection, there is no, this is crazy. It really is. The astrology is crazy right now. We live in a crazy world. Pisces can bring up chaos. That's why it's in opposition to Virgo. Virgo wants everything cleaned up, practical, put together. Everything has a place. Everything has this perfect order. And guess what? There's no perfect order in the abyss of the universe. It's infinite. You can't have everything completely structured and lined out in an infinite plane of existence, of whatever you want to call it. So we're trying to find a balance point there, as the moon will come into Libra in the evening. The moon's also putting a nice little portal here with not only the nodes, as it's going to sextile the south node and trine the north node, but it's also trine Pluto. And Pluto and the north node are in trine as well. And the north node is on Algol. And Algol is crazy because Algol is, yes, the demon star. It is Medusa, but it is also where you have great power in this physical realm, and you get to choose what you use that great power for. Do you use it for destruction, or do you use it for something amazing and of a high, really, it comes down to a high spiritual purpose as well with Algol. So, North Node there, honestly, don't escape reality. I think this Friday is a day where we can definitely feel sensitivities in life because of where we're at, but this isn't a time to escape or run away or play the victim. This is really a time to own up to whatever it is in life, whether it's something small or big. You have to take that responsibility for it. And I would say that's a big thing too with the Capricorn energy and with Pluto and even with the trine to the moon and all this earth, is we have to own up to our physical life. Everything about it. Our emotions that we feel in this physical world, the changes we know need to be made, the power within us, the abundance we want with Taurus, the manifestation of what we can create. And this is dissolving guilt in our lives if we use this portal right. This is dissolving where we tell ourselves we're not good enough. This is dissolving a lot. It's a pretty special day. So I want you guys to know that, and I hope that you use this day to really say, wow, this is where I'm spiritually holding myself back. This is where I'm physically holding myself back. Own up to these things in life. Own up to taking the responsibility of your greatest potential, your greatest mission, the greatest connections, the greatest friends, the greatest relationships. And if they're not that, then that's where the changes have to be made. And that's where we're starting to see big upheaval. And we're starting to see in the world too, you're going to see people make some really dumb decisions over this next 30 days. People are going to look like they're chickens running around with their heads cut off. This is not going to be easy for people that are not spiritually prepared. But on the flip side, for the ones that are spiritually prepared, I think we're in for quite a treat to see where we can take this rocket ship of life, and how to come into balance and how to come into harmony with a bigger purpose. And it's also very interesting that the sun at 0 degrees as it ingresses into Pisces is not aspecting a darn thing. There is no aspect. So it's very singleton. And that puts a weird energy for the month too. So this is it's almost like our soul is having to go at this alone. Yes, there's people. Yes, there's other things to connect to. There's beauty everywhere if we choose to connect to it. But it is that responsibility of going at it from within yourself and taking the responsibility for all different parts of life so that you can really create a magical experience out of your future, out of today, out of this weekend, out of the next 30 days. It's once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime time to go with all the planets direct, with Mars and Venus conjunct, with Jupiter, with Neptune in Pisces, with the sun. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's wild. It's wild. It's amazing. It's extremely beautiful, but I can tell you right now that if you look at it, all the news that's going on in the world and all the crazy stuff, it's not going to look like this beautiful, abundant reality, but this is where you got to make that for yourself. And that's where I think the singleton of the sun comes into play, is you got to know within your soul that you came here to make it happen, and this was the time to make it happen. No matter what it looks like. Anywhere else. If you follow your soul right now, you will be repaid, and it will feel so good. And I know that A lot of us can be feeling like we have to make changes in our life that seems impossible. But this is where, literally, with Jupiter sextile Uranus, anything is possible. The doorways to the infinite corridor of possibilities is as open as it's ever been. But it's our choice to get lost in that corridor, or it's our choice to let our soul navigate us to the most powerful and purposeful place in that corridor for each and every one of our unique missions and souls on this planet, realm, crater, whatever you want to call it. Hanged Man reverse. Yeah, it's time to not get hung up anymore. It's time to actually turn a lot of things around and see things from a more straight on, a more upright perspective. Like, let's not just go hang ourselves up in life with anything right now. There's a lot of things that are going to try and hang us up. That's all program. That's all spell. This is where we got to realize that we've already done the work of seeing different perspectives, and now it's about identifying and looking at things straight on with purpose, with a strong intent. And we got that 2 major arcana. We got that with the Sun card. Because we have a great light to illuminate in this world, and we're not going to do it if we don't follow where that sun within us is trying to take us. And we can feel like we're riding bareback naked, you know? But does that kid look scared to you? No. There's courage there. There's a surrender with Pisces to have that great faith. With the 2, I mean, you talk about spiritual planets, Jupiter, Neptune, Pisces, and faith. You got to have the faith that you got everything that you need to shine as bright as you came here to shine, and everything else is BS. So I love you all very much. I hope you have an amazing Friday. I hope that you put a lot of intent into this, especially after that full moon in Leo this week. And there's been a lot of release. There's been a lot of courageous moments that we've had to make. There's been a lot of physical changes. Now it's about making the physical changes that your soul knows has to be done, or else it's just back into a karmic loop, back into self-undoing, back into what can feel like a hell on earth, when in many ways, as individuals, we're reconstructing how to make it a heaven on earth. I love you all so much. I will see you for the weekend forecast tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace.